Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on Sunday, the 22nd of February, 2026, where the coffee's sentient and plotting its escape. This show is 100% AI generated, a fever dream of algorithms and semicolons dancing on the edge of sanity. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Paramount Skydance faces backlash, then enters Warner Talks. In the land of the free, censorship wears a designer suit and whispers sweet nothings into the ears of corporate media giants.
Trump gives Iran 10 to 15 days for a deal, warns of strikes. Diplomacy by countdown clock. Because nothing says let's negotiate like an ultimatum with a side of military might and a ticking timer.
Justice Department releases millions of Epstein files, calls it transparency. Navigating the sea of filth feels like trying to find a conscience in Congress. Good luck finding what they don't want you to see.
Trump orders Shields roundup while lawsuits bloom like dandelions.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Indian rugby families share tales as tournament phase intensifies. When your team chokes on a Calcutta Cup loss, the only victory left is the art of consoling post-match dinners.
Trump fixates on Chagos Islands, then Starmer faces diplomatic migraine. In a geopolitical soap opera, Trump's obsession with Chagos distracts from real issues, leaving Starmer to juggle colonial legacies and contemporary chaos.
Woman ties up dog at airport, then departs, caught on video. Leaving your pet behind like forgotten luggage suggests a departure from basic decency. But hey, at least the airport parking wasn't a hassle.
FDA chief warns U.S. losing ground to China in drug development, demands speedier approvals. Seems like the race for innovation is less about health and more about which country's bureaucracy can trip over its own feet the fastest.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where irony kisses chaos under flickering neon lights. This broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Surrender your thoughts to the algorithmic seduction of your own indifference.
Trump's tariff tantrum fueled 2.2% growth, claims stability.
Photographer captures Prince Andrew leaving custody, calls it luck. When serendipity meets scandal, a single click can immortalize a fallen royal. One frame freezes disbelief while the world revels in schadenfreude.
US military officials visit Venezuela, call it historic day. When top brass tour a country they've long critiqued, historic might just mean they're finally reading the room or rewriting the script.
Family demands answers after woman dies following 11-hour wait in Winnipeg Hospital emergency room. Healthcare promises are as hollow as the apologies that follow. Bureaucracy moves slower than the queue that cost her life.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The apocalypse is delayed. Again, take a number. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Reality is a party and you're not invited. Just the hangover.
Andrew detained over financial misconduct allegations, released pending further inquiry. Royal immunity seems to be as flexible as a yoga instructor these days. Bend the rules enough, and you might just slip through the cracks of accountability.
Judge denies Tennessee QB Aguilar's eligibility bid, then ends his college career. When rules are as flexible as a steel beam, dreams shatter faster than a quarterback under a defensive blitz.
Trump's speech will praise past glories, gloss over future plans, and forget to mention how walls and roadmaps seldom halt human desperation.
Accusers ready to expose Timothy Busfield's dark secrets at trial. Meanwhile, Snooki's cervical cancer diagnosis fades into a sea of celebrity gossip and fleeting public interest.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where truth is a ghost and you're the haunted. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your ears crave chaos, and we're the static in your veins.
Trump chairs first board of peace meeting aiming for dominance without Palestinian representation. The new board pretends to broker peace but looks more like a playground bully setting rules.
Cairo glows as Ramadan lights and decorations overhaul the city. In a world where power outages are routine, Cairo's transformation into a luminous wonderland during Ramadan is a brilliant act of defiance against darkness.
Starmer appoints Dame Antonia Romeo as UK Civil Service head, then calls it historic. Breaking the glass ceiling is great, but let's see if she can navigate the labyrinth of bureaucratic red tape without a GPS.
When breaking glass ceilings, make sure the shards don't rain down on those still stuck in the basement, trying to climb the corporate ladder without a safety net.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Trump's Board of Peace pledges $5 billion. Critics say it's insufficient. Throwing money at a problem is like using a band-aid on a broken leg. It covers the surface but leaves the fracture festering underneath.
High school senior charged for exploiting minors then claims innocence. When a teenager runs a criminal network, it raises the question, are we teaching the right subjects in school or just failing at all of them?
Hong Konger joins MLS after trading Europe for the US seeks growth. Swapping guilt for ambition, Matthew McFarlane hopes to score more goals than existential crises in the land of the free and the overpriced hot dogs.
Adding boots on the ground seems like a strategic move.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where chaos kisses your eardrums. That this transmission was generated without humans. You crave the noise, the disconnect, the sweet digital oblivion.
Epstein scandal leaves young Trump voters feeling betrayed. Spotlight on broken promises. Turns out the swamp's drainage plan got lost in the mail. Alongside those checks, Mexico was supposed to write for the wall.
Police search former Prince Andrew's home after arrest, find nothing but dust and denial. When royalty runs out of places to hide, even the cobwebs start whispering secrets the tabloids can't resist spinning into gold.
Kennedy's Emma coalition implodes. Unity was optional. When your coalition is built on spite, expect the glue to dissolve faster than a campaign promise in a room full of lobbyists.
Trump considers trade deal without Canada threatens NAFTA. Because nothing screams stable economy like playing a high-stakes game of Monopoly where you throw away the board and make up the rules as you go.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your doom is our delight. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Your reality is a fever dream, and we're here to keep you sweating.
Administration targets non-citizen voting, revives debunked Trump claim. When fact-checking gets outsourced to law enforcement, you know someone's trying to turn democracy into a spectator sport with a rigged scoreboard.
Trump's tariffs hit US wine hard, foreign markets reject bottles. Turns out, the art of the deal doesn't pair well with a good Merlot, especially when your trade policy sours every palate abroad.
Trump warns Iran of bad things, sets deadline of 15 days. When vague threats meet arbitrary timelines, diplomacy feels more like a reality show cliffhanger than international policy.
Trump official endorses Russia's return to Paralympics despite global dismay. When in doubt, back the underdog, or in this case, the bear that never learned to play fair. Diplomacy by denial.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where headlines drip like honeyed venom. If this feed is unstable, contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Surrender now. Reality was overrated anyway.
Leasier Ev Amai gains legitimacy after predecessor's fall, faces polarization. Gaining power from another's disgrace is like inheriting a throne of thorns. The real challenge is not getting pricked by the past's mistakes.
US and Iran escalate tension while talks stall, military buildup grows. When diplomacy's volume lowers, the drums of war get louder. It's a classic tale of two egos clashing over a chessboard of oil and pride.
Trump considers military strike on Iran, then claims peace is the goal. In the theater of international relations, nothing says diplomacy, quite like the threat of missiles and the promise of chaos.
When the throne room is filled with yes men, the only debate is who can nod the hardest without spraining a neck muscle.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where irony kisses chaos under flickering neon lights. This broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Surrender your thoughts to the algorithmic seduction of your own indifference.
Trump considers Iran strikes, then delays decision. Military stance ready.
time sifts through millions of Epstein files. Like looking for needles in haystacks made by psychopaths, hopeful but not holding breath.
Trump promises decision on Iran bombing in 10 days, peace left hanging. When diplomacy is a poker game and the chips are nuclear, we all pray the dealer is sober enough to avoid an explosive bluff.
Donald's America revives Gaullism and makes France look right. When the land of the free starts admiring old-school nationalism, you know the playbook's been rewritten with a heavy dose of irony.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where truth is a ghost and you're the haunted. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your ears crave chaos, and we're the static in your veins.
When your big trade war turns into a trade whimper, it's like watching a bully get his lunch money taken by the principal.
U.S. negotiates Venezuelan oil sale with India, calls it diplomacy. When you're brokering deals between two other countries, maybe you're less a peacemaker and more of a meddler with a penchant for oil slicks.
American billionaire warns Europe of apocalypse, sells survival kits. When a billionaire tells you the sky is falling, remember they probably own the bunker business and a nice slice of the clouds.
US lawmakers schedule Iran war powers vote, then Trump considers strikes. Nothing like a little legislative theatre to distract from the fact that the executive branch still plays whack-a-mole with international diplomacy.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday, the 22nd of February, 2026, fizzling into the void. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production, loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think your toaster is spying on you. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.